Elias Pettersson's got Canuck fans worried. He had 102 points 2 years ago, 89 points last year, but he's only on pace for 49 this season. Up until now, the hockey world seems to have been convinced he'd break out sooner or later. But Marty, are you losing faith that Elias Pettersson can indeed turn things around?
Yeah, I'm losing faith that Elias Pettersson will never be a 100-point player anymore in the National Hockey League. And I'm losing faith that this is the type of player the Vancouver Canucks should build around. Look, Elias Pettersson may be a 70-point player, maybe even close to an 80-point player, and that's good in the National Hockey League, but not for what Elias Pettersson is getting paid and what he did 2 seasons ago, even last year to a certain extent. And I get it. Maybe there has been a lot of turmoil and a lot of different storms around the Vancouver Canucks and Elias Pettersson over the last few weeks and months. But now that this all cleared up, you would want to see a pushback, a bounce back, something that tells me that Elias Pettersson is ready to take steps forward, is ready to lead this team to a playoff spot and more. And I have not seen that out of Pettersson. So obviously that is a concern. And obviously I am losing faith that this is the guy that they signed to be 100 plus with the Vancouver Canucks for many years to come.
Okay, so what's this mean to them in the short term? Somehow, despite the lack of production, the Canucks still find them in a playoff spot right now. Are they going to be able to hold off the Flames, Utah, and Blues if Pettersson can't somehow refine a better portion of his game?
Well, this is going to take a lot more than Pettersson regaining some of his game. You're got to look at everybody being able to perform, and Quinn Hughes maybe being the leader on the back end and try to do everything for the Vancouver Canucks. But I've got big question marks right now. Like, what do you do with Brock Besser? You know, this may be where you have Brock Besser as an own rental. He's going to be UFA this summer. You may lose him and not get anything back from him. I get it. Vancouver wants to make the playoffs this year, and Besser would help you to make the playoffs. But is that the smart thing to do long term, to say, hey, we're going to lose Brock Besser and get nothing in return? So that's a concern. The other concern is, look, Kevin Lankinen is a great story this year, but at the start of training camp, he didn't have a job. He signed a 5-year extension. He's been really good, but is that the guy that you think can compete in the Western Conference when you look at Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger and all the great goaltenders over there? So there is some concern right now that maybe the Vancouver Canucks not only are not going to make the playoffs, but if they do, they'd be one and done in the first round, and that's not what you want to build toward. Look, Utah is flying offensively. St. Louis Blues have gained traction of late. The Calgary Flames have been a great story all season long. So, yes, I'm concerned about Vancouver not just making the playoffs, but what decisions they have to make now to try to either get in at all costs or look for the future.
Just add a little extra context for how bad things are for Pettersson right now. He's got 1 goal in 2025. 390 players in the league have scored more goals than Pettersson since the start of the new year.